Hi. I'm making this video because I went on my date today with my former TA, beautiful TA. It was kind of funny. It was kind of different than I expected. But he got there before I did. We met at like this coffee shop place, and it started out kind of okay um, until what started like this weird vibe I got. So I always got the vibe that he's like kind of like Tumblr philosopher and like Tumblr intellectual or something. And I thought like, okay, I can deal with that. I'm kind of an asshole too. No, not in the way that he is. He's real. First of all, he's really nice. Sorry if you could hear that. That's my cats. They're rustling and kind of chasing each other around. Um, really nice, really polite guy. So it started out, we were like talking about like trapeze because I don't know, I mentioned something about trapeze. Oh, there was a painting on the wall of a trapeze artist. And I said that I used to want to be a trapeze artist when I was like 4 or 5 because I saw like a circus preview on TV and I thought that'd be a cool job. But then I said like now that I'm older, I'm too tall and I'm kind of afraid of heights and I'm not flexible at all, blah, blah, blah. And I said I just couldn't do that, but I said when I was really little, I did. And then, I was like, and then I matured onto I wanted to be a mermaid when I was like 5 or 6, and also however old I am now, 22. Um, and then he was like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be free, and I still want to be free. So I was like, okay. And I probably made a face like that, kind of like open eyes, kind of wide-eyed. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm just still so funny. It was just so funny. So that kind of started it, that weirdness. And then I said that this is a true story, by the way. I said when I was in kindergarten, we had to go around the room and say what we wanted to be when we grew up. Kindergarten, 5 years old. I said I want to be a mermaid, and I didn't get a snack that day because my teacher said that's unrealistic. And then he looked at me and he was like, would you say that your teacher killed your creativity? And I was like, no, I wouldn't say that. Instead of anything, she embarrassed me and hurt my feelings, but she didn't kill my creativity. And then, so then it kept going, and we were talking, and then he asked me, because I have mentioned that I'm really into movies. He was in my class that I did my thesis on movies, like horror movies in, and he was like, what kind of movies do you like? And I said that I liked a lot of different movies, and for some reason I mentioned Ingmar Bergman. I mean, I like Ingmar Bergman, but I don't know why he was the first like director to come up the top of my head. And he was like, oh, what has he done? And I said like, oh, he did The Seventh Seal and like Autumn Sonata, blah blah blah. And he was like, what's your favorite film of his? And I said like, I really like, I think I just said The Seventh Seal because that's probably my favorite. I don't know, now that I think about it, probably like The Virgin Spring is. Anyway, it's not important, not important. So I was like, I really like The Seventh Seal. And he said, describe The Seventh Seal to me in 3 words. And I was like, or no, it was 2 words. I'm sorry, it was 2 words. And I was like, comedy and death or something. Like, I don't remember what I said, but I was like, what the fuck is that? And then we were talking about books that we like. And, oh, sorry, back on the movies topic. He was like, what's your favorite film, like, of all time? And I didn't want to say Peter Pan, because I didn't want to come off like that guy. So instead, I was like, Grindhouse. I was like, have you seen that with Rose McGowan when she has the machine gun leg and she is fighting like zombie infected people, blah blah blah. And he was like, he was like, I unfortunately have seen that. And I was like, well, you need to be a dick about it. It's a pretty legit movie. Like, don't be a dick about it. And so then we were talking about books, and he was like, every day I read a page of the Bible and then a page of the Quran and see how that will shape my day or something. And I was like, okay. Like, I felt this entire discussion, I don't know why, it made me feel like I was in some kind of like really, really shitty like Godard film. Like, I don't know, he got like weird and like pseudo like philosophical on me. I don't know. And then he was like asking me if I take drugs, and I was like, not really. And then I'm really disappointed because in hindsight, when he said that, I should have said yes, and I've been arrested for drugs. Have you been arrested? To kind of segue into not me admitting that I've seen his arrest report, but like to see if he would admit it so I could get the full story about it so that I could tell you guys, because you guys know, and I could tell the people in real life who I've told. But then he was asking me about my work, and I said I kind of work in like a shitty area, like it's kind of on the outskirts of town, and not a lot of people go there. And he asked like what's around, and I mentioned that there's like a Blimpie nearby, and like a McDonald's and a Burger King. So he was like, oh, so all gross places. And I was like, pump the brakes. McDonald's is fucking incredible. And at Blimpie, since I'm a mall employee, I can get like chips for a discount. So it's not that bad. And then he was like asking me if I watch TV, and I was like, well, yes. I said like I watch Workaholics and like Archer and stuff. And then he was like, I don't really watch TV. So I was like, okay, that's cool. You don't watch TV. But anyway, it was just weird. He kind of turned out a lot different than I was expecting, but also not too terribly different. Because I kind of had like a vibe from him. Oh, and then, so he recently graduated college. And then I said that I was graduating in like 2 semesters. And he said, and he asked me if I'm excited, and I said that I kind of like school because it gives me some kind of structure, like it gives me something to do during the day, and then at night when I do homework, I don't really do homework, but like it gives me the excuse when I don't want to do something, I can be like, hey, I've got a lot of homework. But then he said like school's not really structure, and it's like, okay, then it gives me the illusion of structure, like what the fuck ever. And then I said that I wasn't too excited about graduating just because I don't want to go out and like get like a real job. And he was like, well, what's a real job really? What's a real job really? Like, are these people, because we were at a coffee shop, so he pointed to like the people working there. He was like, is that not a real job? And it's like, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. Don't be a dick about it. It was like I said, it was just an interesting, different experience that I'm not really crazy about. And then I mentioned that I go skiing, and he wants me to go skiing with him tomorrow. So I'm kind of trying to figure out a way out of that, because I don't really like to go skiing with people I don't know very well, because it's a mountain, and there's a very good chance that they could like kill me and like toss my body off the side of the mountain. And when I say they, it's because he was talking about how he was going with his friend Alistar. And this guy, I guess, is British, and he's 40 years old, and he's the CEO of some kind of like nutritional food company in Pennsylvania. So he was like, come skiing with me and this 40-year-old British guy, and we can like hang out. And I was like, I don't really want to, like, I didn't say this, and I was like, I really want to go skiing with some 40-year-old man. But he was like, oh, he's really cool, he's a normal guy even though he's the CEO, blah blah blah. And I was like, awesome, great. And I was so glad I didn't mention Undercover Boss, because I watched a shitload of Undercover Boss with my mom, and that probably would have made me come off pretty shallow. But yeah, that's kind of the, sorry, there's a kitten noise over there. I'm not sure what they're doing. It's kind of the long version of the date I went on. It's pretty funny. I just thought you guys should know, because most of you have been with me on this journey thus far. So it's the update about it. It's my vlog or whatever. So that's what happened there. Bye.